Rule number one of Warren Buffett is don't lose money. Rule number two is see rule number one.
Hmm.
And I, however, am very special that I have to go make mistakes myself to learn lessons sometimes, or maybe that was the younger version of myself. And so and I remember a time where I had a goal of being a millionaire before 30. And I achieved
Can
that
relate.
goal of being a millionaire before 30. And I was like, look at this. Look at me. I am special. I am awesome. And I remember Robert Kiyosaki giving me advice and saying, be wary, young man. The easy come is also easy go. And I was like, you just don't understand. I'm super clever. Like, I'm smart. Like, the real estate market would have to go down like more than like 20% to touch where I bought this, because I bought it at a discount. And yeah, even though I borrowed 100% of that, or 105% or whatever, I bought it at a discount. So it should be fine. It's good. Nothing in my life had experienced that. And subsequently, a few years later, I'm sitting on the street corner, and I remember this so vividly, in Tucson. I'm sitting outside of this Adobe house that I was doing construction work on, and I was broken emotionally. I was crying, like sobbing, crying. The world was spinning. I sat down on there in the dirt on the sidewalk kind of thing and just prayed, dear Lord, can I be worth nothing? Nothing. Like, if zero would be so awesome. And I went from becoming and wanting to be a millionaire before 30 to praying to be worth nothing. And really, and to even make matters even worse, is that house I was working on, that Adobe house, and the reason I was praying to be worth nothing was because I had a negative net worth. I had more debt than the properties were worth. I had been coming to closing table bringing 20,000, then 30, then 50, then 100. And I ran out of money before I ran out of properties. And so as I'm trying to unwind the portfolio of these negative cash flowing or just carrying properties, they were going down in value so fast, I couldn't unwind the portfolio. I couldn't even service the debt. And so now I was just wanting to be worth nothing. So I had the experience of being a contractor. The girl that I thought I was going to marry, that we had a very, kind of long relationship during that time period, she broke up with me 3 months, 6 months. And it was like the first real heartbreak of my life. And it was like an absolute crush, heartbreaking element. She felt bad for me seeing this pit of despair that I was going down. She told her new boyfriend, you should hire Jake to do the remodel on this project. He can do it as a contractor. I know. He doesn't know our previous relationship. So every day they would come by the house and look and do a walkthrough, and he's smacking her on the ass and giving her kisses and doing those other things. And it's the girl that I thought I was going to marry that was breaking my heart every single day. And I am having emotional breakdowns. I owe people, my friends, my family, banks. I have negative net worth, and I'm sitting there and I'm broken on that street corner, and I'm sobbing and I'm crying, and I want to be worth nothing. And so to me, that is so vivid to me. That is what I recall. And that's when I'm telling people to look into due diligence and to net lease and do those other things. That's that point in which I remember. I subsequently started and really built my foundation of my systems and my experiences from that standpoint. And I had to bounce around the bottom. I was 75, 80 pounds overweight. I was a terrible, human, because I was so myopically focused on money and gaining and becoming a millionaire. My brothers were like, I was an asshole. The reason that girl broke up with me was because of those elements of I was bankrupt in every other aspect of my life already, and least importantly was the money aspect. And so when I give you that, and I give you that as an evidence to say, this is the way that I started systematically making those mistakes, rebuilding. There was a new book at the time that came out that caused me to have a paradigm shift, to think about things differently. And that was Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week. And that was not just how to work 4 hours in a work week, but how to 10x everything. How do you expand? And so then it created this element of I'm going to start building systems. And I say that, and I say systems, and I've said it multiple times, because Goals are fantastic for people that want one-time success. Systems are for those that want repeatable and predictable success. And so what happened is you default to the level of your system. Your goal, you can white knuckle, and you see this happen all the time. People want to lose 20 pounds. They go lose 20 pounds and then they default back to their system and they put on 25 pounds. And so what you need to do is you need to retool the system in which your results of that system, and this is now added layers of atomic habits from James Clear, was the byproduct of the machine that you're building and the system that you're building results in what your goal is. The goal helps give you the definition of what you're aiming at, but you now have to develop a system around what you want your success. So I said, hey, I want to be a millionaire before 30, but that was, I didn't build out any system that maintain that millionaire status and then was replicable and scalable. And so I had to go learn some of those mistakes. Now, from that, don't lose money. That principle number one is I see some of the deals that people are doing because they have only experienced the last 10 years and the market went down in 09 and 10 and 11 and 12. And actually some of the best deals that I ever did were post this falling down and losing money, as I picked myself back up and I said, hey, I'm going to put my big boy pants on. I'm going to get back in. And the quote that I put on the back of the book is, the best time to buy is when there's blood in the streets, even if the blood is your own blood. So meaning what it is that my own blood was the guts, the tears on the street, was I got back in and started buying real estate. I didn't know how. I had to build new systems. I had to figure out, because now I have no credit. I have shit for credit. I owe more money. And some of them, and I had subsequently 2 properties go to foreclosure. So how do I buy properties when I have a foreclosure on my record? How do I buy things with no money? How do I do these things? And so it created, and the necessity was I had to develop systems to go through that allows me to scale my organization. And so when I see that is 09, 10, 11, 12, those were the best deals because I had no competition. So when I think and leaning into investing in hospitality is I'm going to where there's not competition, because really where the competition lies is just who's willing to take a lower profit margin. And then your margin of safety is reduced and, trimmed down to nothing. So then when I see the people that have made wealth in the last 10 years, they've only seen a market that's gone up and up and up and up and up. And subsequently, so I'm like, I feel a little bit like Robert Kiyosaki saying, be wary, young man. And here's some of the things that I'm seeing. If you're signing on personal guaranteed debt for a net lease deal that could wipe out 100% of everything you've built up to this point, it's not worth it. Understanding what is the downside risk. What is risk to you? You may be like, I'm putting all my chips in. I'm okay going bankrupt, and I'm okay trying to 2x this. But the alternative is, or 10x, or whatever your number is, I'm okay losing everything. If that's fine with you, you understand it, then go do you. And there's some things that I can give you advice on through things like a net lease checklist that helps you protect your downside. So that's what I wanted to take off of. There's a whole lot of other things that I can spew on for quite a while, especially related to real estate.